he said, listen, forget Curtis, come to the winning team. That's what he told me. So I had some problems there, so I came over to the winning team. Okay, I've been part of the winning team for a long time. But I learned about all of these guys from Mr. D. Mr. D schooled me. He didn't just coach me, but he schooled me. And I'm always a student. I'm hungry to know about these dudes. Because how can you know where you're going, right, if you don't know where you came from? So what these dudes is, their mistakes, their triumphs, their loss, it's all part of what I want to know. So just to let you guys, I feed off of your energy. I've always fed off your energy, whether I seen your face before. Because, you know, your spirit echoes, like you said, in the hallways of the school. Tradition, the Dan Carroll, the Eddie Gripper, you know. All of that's been here, and Mr. D, I mean, there's so many other names that I know, and I never seen these guys. Right? Vinny Wade, he talked about him ridiculous. I never seen this guy in my life, a picture of him, nothing. But I know who he was in spirit, because when Mr. D's explaining that to me, it goes a long way. Now, tradition, right? To know your family history is to know who you are. That's where confidence comes, right? That's where confidence comes. Sometimes we might not understand. You got, like, if you have a broken, even though you might not think it's important, that spirit and that thinking and that tradition, maybe you don't think it's important. But let me say, I want to explain something to you even deeper. This is to everybody. When a slave came out of being a slave, he was broken down as an individual. So he didn't know his history. He didn't even know where he came from. He didn't even know his name. So that made him weak from Jump Street as an individual. When you know who you are, you know where you are, you walk tall, you act tall, you feel like you're running for somebody, for pride, what you have, what you established, what people have carved out before you, you can walk through those footsteps and then extend the footsteps and go a little further. So that's where I'm going to lead it at, because I want to go somewhat further than where these guys were. But they're the very inspiration and spirit of what you guys are going to do. So you're blessed, because another example I want to use, because a lot of you guys like hip-hop, they like rap. So you got an Eminem who's very complex in his words. But yet, if it wasn't for another rapper that said hip-hop the Hibbit, he couldn't be where he is. They listened to him, and they extended, they built upon the foundation that the simple guy had, so now his wordplay is ridiculous. Why? Because they built upon that little foundation. So this is what I'm telling you. Their foundation is where we're coming from, so we could grow bigger and do bigger things because of the footsteps that they have. That's where I'm at. I'm at, like, and you know, I really want to thank Coach Excel too, because he's amazing. When he wasn't there the other day, I was a little bit lost. Had nobody to go to the finish line. I'm using you guys. Go get this, go this. Where's the pictures? We don't got no pictures this week. We got pictures every week, a lot of pictures. So when you lose one person, you lose a lot. So this is what I want to say. The runners that don't think they're too significant to the team, you are. You are. You are. You're important just seeing your face. Just seeing you every day, whether you're great or not. When you talk to each other on the bus, that's what makes a team. So you got to really know that. You become the fiber of what St. Peter's track and field and cross country is. You're like that little button over there. And a little sleeve coming down. We're all a part of the material. Part of the material of the makeup. Okay? What these guys knitted out for us. And the coaches. Peter Whitehouse, the Tobin, the Mr. D's, some of the brothers that were coaches here. Mez, guys like that. You guys don't even know. I haven't seen half of these guys, but I know about them. So I coach with a responsibility and a weight of the alumni. But the weight will never hold me down, because I'm still going to walk confident. Even though the weight's on my shoulder, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, these guys are here. I'm still going to walk with confidence and talk to you a certain way, because we all need to be confident. Now that we're building up that, we're going to be reaching, we're going to be going out and competing against Xavier. We're going to be going against St. Anthony's. And they're pretty much, their names are like in lights. That's meaningless though. It's meaningless. Like I told you, it's in the park. It's still the same 2.5. Even though this is a bigger meet, you're still going through the same course. What are you worried about? All right? There was a movie, Hoosiers, I think. And then they was playing some championship game, and it was like in a big stadium. So the coach measured the basketball court, right or wrong. He measured the court. He said, wow, it's still the same. No matter if it's bigger, there's 1,000 people here, 2,000 people, the court is still the same. Okay? When you compete in a greater competition, it's strictly mental. And that's what maturity is. when you mature enough to understand. Okay, Dom learned last week, the week before, he went out and he's probably like, I'm going to win this race. That didn't work out too good for him. Maybe he went out too quick. Maybe he wasn't feeling good. But this week, he learned to be a champion. Because champions lose, but they get up. And this time he ran a certain way, and I was proud of him. I'm proud of all you guys, but I just want to bring that out because when you lose and you've been winning, that hurts your soul. It gets down into your person. Because when you run, I always say it like this, I'm a soulful person. Because I do everything for real. My heart. I'm not playing. I'm not writing a speech. I'm not doing none of that. Because that's not real to me. I spill out who I am because it's everything that I touch. Everything I touch is who I am. All the people I met is who I am. My parents, whatever. That's who I am. So I don't have to plan for that. When you go to a race and you run with soul, you will be ready. Why? Because you ran in soul with practice. You understood practice. You touched it. You touched everything that practice brought you. That's who you become. So the secret is really not in our training. It's in our minds. The secret is in your mind. So I believe that when we go to the city champs or the state champs, we're going to go in there not with like, this is who they are. We're going to run with soul. That means we're going to compete. And even if they beat us, when you're in a dog fight, you don't want to be in another dog fight. Okay? This is a true story of my own run. So I was always like a reckless runner. So if I run a 600 or something, I go out 51. I just hang on. That's how it was. And I never really talked to people. This one guy said, yo, I used to be scared of you because you never talked. Like I really just wanted to win. So when I warmed up, I was quiet. I didn't even talk to my teammates. I was like this. So there was a kid that had the national record at the 600. He ran 150 for the 800. So we're in the finals of the Eastern. So I'm walking in. He's there with his dude. He's looking around. He said, damn, Wagner kid is here. That's what he said. I never beat this dude. I never beat him, ever. But you know what I did? I brought the heat to him. We're going down 51. You're going to suffer to beat me. And that's what we got to let St. Anthony's know. You will suffer that day. Because we know we're going to suffer. And that's where we want to run, but we also want to run smart. So it's a blessing that we got the parents here, and I'm hoping that, because Denise is doing a wonderful, wonderful job of building up the tradition, working on the alumni, working on putting things together. We got the hoodies, which is, when we go out to the park, I feel good just seeing the parents with the hoodies, hoping more parents come out there, you know, that everybody gets involved. Because what we're going to do, I mean, that support of parents goes a long way with these guys. I think all of that's part of, I don't think it's just my coaching, I think it's everything. You alumni guys, when you got to talk to them, they see your face, it's impacting them, what Denise is doing, what Excel's doing, what everybody, I mean, Sean Lynch is amazing, him and Kevin Buell, these guys come out, and I trust them guys. If I can't make it to the meet, Sean can get there, I'm not worried. Why? Because he knows how to command the troops. So is Kevin Buell. So everybody put together, your efforts and our efforts make us the Eagles. Not just my effort, the complete effort. That's amazing. What you got to realize is, look at it. The universe is one. The tree is not fighting the other tree. The other tree is not fighting the grass. And everybody's doing the job. And meanwhile, the universe is complete. That's how we have to do it. Everybody has to play their part. Not to be better than each other, but to play your part at your fullest ability. When you do that, we're one. We're one. My football coach taught me that. He was like, listen, this is your job. So I was a running back. So I used to get the pitch, and I used to always want to start doing this. He was like, no, I didn't tell you to. I just want you to run right here. So I get the ball, and he snatches me. He's like, you're an idiot. You don't listen. I told you to run right there. So then he goes on to tell me, like, there's 11 dudes, and each dude just needs to do their job. Stop worrying about what he's doing, just worry about what you're doing. And when we do that, then we live in faith, because now we're not looking at other people. Faith is the substance of just knowing what it is. If you know who you are, you don't have to prove who you are, you don't have to do nothing. So all of these characteristics is what's going to make us champions. So once again, I want to thank the alumni and the parents. I don't know if somebody else wants to speak. Or do you want me to say something? I know you.
Just maybe you can tell the freshman parents and the freshmen what the record is. So they know what he's talking about.
What the 12? His record?
Yeah, their record.
Danny Carroll. Their record is what is it? 1333. Yeah, 1333 is a team average of 5 guys. You have a team of 7. That's what makes cross country. 7 guys makes the team complete. 5 guys score. Okay? First place is 1 point. Third place is 3 points. You got 4 points. The team with the lowest points wins the meet. So, at the end of the race, one guy runs 12 minutes, another guy runs 13, one guy runs 14, another guy, then that's the average. So their average of their 5 guys is 13:33. Our average this week was 13:41. So it's like, it's still far away. Still far away, but it's an achievable goal. And like, just to be able to reach for something like that is amazing. All right, so just be amazing just to be able to do things that you know you guys are going to feel proud about that. And these guys are going to feel proud, even though they're probably going to cry. Their wives, only their wives are going to know that they're going to cry. Their wives going to say, oh man, they got their record.